Good afternoon and welcome. Today we are casting some Spy Party Competitive League Season 5. This is a Silver Division match between Dowsey and Watermeat, and this is my co-caster, Ligorv Janine.
Good afternoon.
And so the season is coming to an end shortly. We're in the final weeks here, and Dowsey has had a commanding lead in the silver standings from day one. As you can see right here, he is the only player in the division to not have a single L next to his name. It has just been win after win after win after win, including a notable win against Minty Rug before she dropped out, another win against Matt before he dropped out as well. And Dowsey is going to be tested very soon against Screwloose, who is also undefeated in the season so far, but does have some draws. And before that, Dowsey has one last match coming up against Watermeat.
Yeah, Dowsey is one of three people still with the possibility of a straight 12-win season. Uh,
Who are the others? I'm just curious.
I know there's one in Obsidian, and I'm pretty sure there's one in Oak too.
Yeah, so my co-caster Ligorv is also
Yes.
en route to a not en route to a perfect season. Has had a perfect season. Oak finished.
Match?
Watermeat
Not yet.
so far has
Next
had
Tuesday.
2 wins and oh right, you do have one more match. Watermeat so far 2 wins, 3 losses, but still one of the better players in the division. Dowsey's definitely the clear favorite here, just because of how dominating he's been, but Watermeat is far from being an easy opponent. And so let's get into the picks and bans. First up from Dowsey, we have a ban of Balcony.
That's totally expected. That's a meat that, or a map that Watermeat likes to play quite a bit, and it's also a very common ban from Dowsey.
And Watermeat has chosen to ban Ballroom.
This is another one that makes sense. Dowsey is very strong on it, and it's also a common ban for Watermeat. So both players exchanging their picks and bans.
And so from Dowsey, we have first pick of Moderne.
This one surprised me a bit when his clear best map of the 5 of 8s is Library. May just be looking to dominate Sniper though, or have something up his sleeve as Spy.
Watermeat has chosen High Rise, any 3 of 5.
Uh, I didn't really know what to expect from Watermeat this set.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, Watermeat has a wide range of common picks, so they're probably comfortable with a lot of different things. Dowsey has chosen Gallery,
this is not surprising. He was just warming up for this on his stream.
and Watermeat's final pick, maybe looking to get a little underdog victory here, is Tayen.
Yeah, this is the map you want to pick if you want to swing some extra points near the end of the match.
Yeah, I mean, Watermeat is the underdog going into this, and so picking a swingy map like Tayen could could work out in their favor, but it's going to be hard to beat Dowsey's Sniper, especially on Moderne. Meanwhile, Dowsey as Spy has a 0% timeout rate this season. Dowsey generally just seems to know really clever plays to go for as Spy, and they always keep you on their toes. He likes doing cheesy strategies. He likes doing things that the sniper isn't going to expect. I don't think you're ever really going to see Dowsey just kind of play a totally slow standard game, and he's definitely not ever going to risk timing out.
Yeah, one thing that really stood out to me looking at Dowsey's stats is that he has a 49% civ shot rate as Spy. That's understandable in a division like Oak, where snipers aren't always going to hold their shots on a Spy who isn't completing missions. But in Silver, where the snipers are really going to hold their shot unless they find the Spy, he's forcing 49% civ shots.
Yeah, and I mean, he also, with the low timeout rate, you know that he's always going to be finish mission. He's always going to finish missions. So if you're sniping against him, you really feel like you have to shoot someone. And it's scary because he's going to be getting away with things that you don't see. And so you might just have to take shots, maybe credit people with things you're not sure about. And the players are in game, and we have the first venue loading up, and players are ready to go. Dowsey is going to be our first sniper, uh, and this is exactly what Dowsey chose when he won the coin flip. And with Modern, I mean, it's a map where snipers have a huge advantage, just statistically. I don't know what it is in this division, but in the higher divisions, it's something like a 70% sniper win rate, even up to 77% sniper win rate in some divisions. And so it'll be really, really hard for Dowsey to drop a game as sniper here. And so he should be able to get a nice early lead, especially if he's able to get a spy win through. Getting a spy win on Modern, not the easiest, but if anyone's able to do it, it should be Dowsey.
Yeah, we'll see as soon as the players finish synchronizing. Watermeat will be stepping into the spy side.
Yeah, they were both just confirming with me that they were ready to go. I confirmed that we were ready, and so it looked like the game was loading up, but we still have a moment here, it looks like. Let's take a look at some Modern stats. Dowsey so far in Season 5 has chosen Modern 3 times, but has only really had 6 games on it, but that is a 100% sniper win rate, as would be expected. Alright, game is ready. Let's get that started in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Watermeat starting out with AI taking us to the bar, but we're gonna direct away from that towards the blue bookshelf.
Yeah,
Dowsey immediately marking the book.
yeah, Dowsey marks books. Bookmarking is going away soon. Watermeat has a pretty decent spy win rate on Modern, 42%. It's slightly above average. So Watermeat could put up a fight here, and Watermeat is also someone who's going to be a little bit more willing to try risky plays. They are known as swap meat because they like taking swaps, and I think we're gonna maybe see some of that. Watermeat isn't someone who's
Oh,
gonna have pacing issues here.
Dowsey just hovered his laser over Watermeat for a moment after that book read.
Yeah, I mean, spies love to do their book read and microfilm in conversation, so it's definitely something you have to be on the lookout for, but there just wasn't enough time to do the animation because Sari immediately joined us. And Watermeat's going to have to decide what he wants to do next. A direct transfer, probably not going to go very well once you were seen with that book in conversation.
Yeah. Dowsey very capable of watching for etiquette, and he may have been on to Irish for some of that.
Oh no, that head turn was right on screen, but even though Dowsey was watching us in conversation, he wasn't watching us at the bookshelf, and so we get away with it.
Yeah, it looked like he was fake highlighting Twin at the statues. Now we're next to the ambassador.
Yeah, I mean, you're not really gonna do a standing bug here. I've been proven
Uh,
wrong.
Not only did he do a standing bug, he got it past Dowsey. Unless Dowsey's more onto this than he's letting on.
Yeah,
If
I'm
not,
shocked that Watermeat got away with that, and Watermeat picks up the highlight. I don't think Dowsey is sure that he saw a bug, and I don't think he saw the microfilm, but he spent a lot of time watching Irish, noticing that yes, she did have the book, and yes, she has been standing next to the ambassador a lot. So I think Irish has just been taking up a lot of space in Dowsey's head, and it makes sense that he's highlighting there, even if he's not sure that he saw things.
yeah, Watermeat just twitched closer to the ambassador, and I'm pretty sure that was to kick him out of conversation. But sorry, we'll steal that briefcase from us instead.
Yeah, we're not doing anything too suspicious right now. The best bet for Watermeat is that Dowsey can just pick up other suspects. There's a banana bread. The conversations are really, really full, but it looked like Sari was busy doing other things, and that bottom one with Kane, he's the only one. So our conversation looks like we're the people with real BB.
Yeah, that was a good time. There were only 2 or 3 lowlights available.
Yeah, I mean, if Dowsey thinks a fake is possible, it's a good situation. Otherwise, maybe not. Now we're going to the green shelf. You know, it's like a decent amount of cover depending on the angle, but look, Dowsey's not going to move over to the left and block Irish. We are going to be watching for that, and even though it's a green, we get shot.
Yeah, Dowsey may have been all over that the entire time, just waiting for some confirmation.
Yeah, I mean, Dowsey's not exactly, a camper, so I don't know if he for sure saw the bug, and he apparently didn't see the first microfilm, or we would have been immediately shot, but he was just clearly noticing that Irish was someone who was always in the positions the spy would be in, and the banana bread definitely didn't help. I mean, there was no way Dowsey wasn't going to be watching for a microfilm there, and we know he was watching it explicitly because he shot for it even though it was a green.
Yeah, that's probably not where Watermeat expected to pick up a point. But now that he's on the sniper side, he'll at least have a chance to keep serve.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Dowsey is going to be chasing down the seduction target. Quick 46% and immediately leaves.
Yeah, and there's the cheeky strategies I said we can expect from Dowsey. I think neither of these players are going to have modern pacing issues. Neither of them are going to time out. They are going to be making bold plays, and that's exactly what you need to do if you're going to win on modern. There's the delegate cheese as well. Dowsey is so active right now, so spy-like if you're watching him. He's just hoping that Watermeat isn't.
Not only that, that was a demand at the bar. You don't see that every day, especially not into delegate cheese.
And it's not really what people usually do on Modern. I mean, so many spies fall into the pacing trap. You know, they start with their seduction target, they kind of timer flirt, they waste a lot of time waiting at the bar, they're crossing the map, and suddenly they have no progress. And that is not what's going to happen to Dowsey here. We've delegated over to Pearls. She's heading over to the bar. She's a little bit slow, but I'm sure she'll get there before the timer goes off.
Yeah, the only hitch in the plan right now is that Twin got caught up doing the briefcase.
I mean, here's the thing. Dowsey's play is very aggressive. You could almost call it a rush, but you just can't rush on Modern. Even with this aggressive play, we still just have a Purloin, which we are low-lit for, by the way. Delegate cheese worked. We were never noticed at the bar.
Yeah, that aggression coming off, and it looks like these highlights are coming off onto previous bar visitors, to the best of Watermeat's knowledge.
Now, Dowsey is a very competent spy. He felt that laser on him, and now he's doing a fake banana bread just to ensure that laser on him was a low light and not a highlight.
Yeah, it looks like Watermeat has this downed at 2.
Yeah, that's nice for Watermeat, I guess. And so now the question is, does Dowsey think he's low-lit or high-lit? And I think the banana bread was some sort of way of testing that to see if sort of the laser comes over us to do anything, because we were in a conversation with, just one other person? And there was no more laser movement. So Dowsey's probably trying to interpret that and figure out if that means he's low-lit or high-lit. And I think he's going to assume low-lit. I mean, that was the intention, and unless anything is changed, he's going to assume it worked. Otherwise, he would start playing tentatively, and that's not what he's doing here.
Oh! Wow. Watermeat brought back up Dowsey for being next to Twin again.
Either that or just for a statue visit. If Watermeat has that flirt pairing, that is beyond impressive.
Seduce is done at this point, so he won't be seeing Dowsey next to Plain Twin again. But the saving grace this whole time for Watermeat has been that Dowsey only had Purloin done at that time.
Yeah, I mean, now it just becomes a question of, are these other bar visitors going to do things? Because if they don't do things, and we do, then it's very possible that Watermeat could follow his intuition and take a correct shot on Dowsey.
Yeah, we still need another statue visit.
And we're getting it.
Real contact.
I mean, we got brought back up to neutral for visiting statues, and when you see someone who you haven't ruled out, one of only what, four suspects left, finishing inspects like that. And there's also a green swap. Let's see if Watermeat is on top of this. Dowsey needs to do another banana bread right away because Dowsey's plan is to win within 10 seconds of that swap going off. But the double
Yeah.
agent leaves and we're not able to get it. That throws a wrench in things. General is swapping the statue for us, but he's a low light. It's right on screen. Was Watermeat watching?
Bug path.
Oh,
It,
Watermeat is lining up the shot! And we take it! Watermeat salvaged that game despite lowlighting the spy earlier.
yeah, I don't think Pearls moved after she had been highlighted after the Purloin. And Rocker just stood next to her for quite a while, so just realized I have lowlit the spy. I'm gonna bring these two back up at statues.
And just
And
look
with
at
the
how
four
calm that shot was. There was no scramble, just lining it up slowly, knowing she was going to land at the bar, and just such a confident shot. And that just shows me that Watermeat was really handling the pressure well. They didn't get nervous, they didn't cave, they stayed really calm, and they were able to correctly reevaluate. And I think Watermeat's got to be feeling really good right now. That's the kind of shot that makes you feel like a true pro.
Yeah, looks like Watermeat is spending some time looking at the replay,
And the match has ended.
seeing what.
Dowsey has rage quit after being shot.
Maybe fixing the FPS bug. We might
Mm,
have to see this a couple of times after his spy games.
that does make a lot of sense. Yeah, Dowsey has been having that FPS bug, which has been plaguing some people. They just get FPS drops. It should be being fixed within the next few days. The reason Dowsey has not played his match with Screwloose yet is because he is waiting for that bug to be fixed. Though the good news is both of them suffer from the FPS bug. So even if it doesn't get fixed, it's a fair match, right? But
Yeah.
Dowsey just takes SCL very seriously, and you can tell that Screwloose is the opponent that he's probably the most scared of in the division, besides Pofke, who he fought back in maybe week 1, I think. And so he just really doesn't want to play a match when there's any sort of glitch that could get in the way of things and get in the way of that perfect record, which he's been working really hard on. I mean, if any of you have been looking at Dowsey's streams, he has spreadsheets. He researches everything about every opponent. He knows exactly which missions they do on which venues, how often, and just a lot more. And I think Watermeat's probably someone that Dowsey has done research on, because Watermeat is not a pushover, as we just saw. I mean, wow, that shot, I'm still really impressed about that.
Yeah, Dowsey needs pretty much every point that he can still get. He's on par for a perfect season, but Screwloose and Pofke are still threatening for the second and third place positions.
Yeah, Screwloose is scary. I mean, if Dowsey loses the match to Screwloose, then Screwloose would have the undefeated season, and Dowsey wouldn't, and so Screwloose would take first place. And, it would be an unfortunate way to end the season for Dowsey after dominating so far, but it would be a huge win for Screw.
Yeah, I just have to hope that Dowsey ends up winning their match, because otherwise I have to play Dowsey. Or do I? I may have to play Dowsey in the tournament of position if Screwloose were to win.
You may have to play Screwloose. It'll be a hard match either way. So we are getting back in game now. Sad to have a momentum break there, but Watermeat is probably still feeling good. I mean, look, the score is only 1-1. All that's happened is there's been 2 sniper wins on Modern, which is, that's what you expect. But when you actually look at how the snipers won there, they both had really strong performances. Dowsey's was a sniper performance where he just showed that he's able to be on top of things even without seeing the hard tells. He just knows how a spy moves. He knows what spy plans are, and was able to be so confident about it that he was watching everything Irish did in that game when she went to the bookshelf. Caught it, even though it was a green test, means he was looking right at it. If you were looking anywhere else, you couldn't be sure if she microfilmed, but he was so sure. And then Watermeat took that fantastic reevaluation shot. And now we have Watermeat as spy starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
We're gonna take control and head to statues immediately.
Is this an early swap? This is going to be an early swap? No, no, it's just inspects? Really?
Just
Why do you rush to
inspects.
the statues just to get inspects?
Perhaps to not get noticed, but it looks like Dowsey's kept his statue in view just in case. Fake highlights as well.
Fake highlights on statue visitors. Why do you think that is?
Handing out fake highlights and lowlights can tell the spy what they should and shouldn't go for. Like, for instance, if you see the sniper highlighting for statues, you might go to the bar, when in reality, they're also moving their laser over bar visitors, but they're actually highlighting for the bar. And spy doesn't have an idea of which one's true.
But in this case, there is only one highlight, and that's Disney, so we don't know what Dowsey is highlighting for. The briefcase looks very, very vulnerable here. Kane's gonna go for it, and we're just waiting in conversation here. We're really not getting much done. Watermeat got burnt last game for a lot of early activity to get on Dowsey's radar, and so it looks like maybe Watermeat wanted to pick up a highlight for statues so that it would be really easy to see that he was being inactive afterwards.
Banana bread is coming off, it looks like about 6 lowlights.
Yeah, I mean, the fourth conversation was totally empty, but the other three were all relatively full, so besides the lowlights, which there are a decent number of, you don't get too much info from this. But that's a lot of lowlights, and the party is pretty well narrowed down at this point, and it's going to be hard for Watermeat to finish missions here.
Yeah, Watermeat's just picked up his second fake highlight, and he's just direct purloined. I don't remember who he was standing next to.
Interesting, and it's a fingerprintable drink as well. This is a bold strategy. Dowsey has a really good grasp usually on who was in which conversation and who could have purloined, but there were so many lowlights available that Dowsey may be confused. I mean, generally you don't expect the spy to just go and do a direct purloin, so you're probably thinking, someone delegated to that twin. Who is it? Rocker's picking up a highlight. I think Dowsey is confused. I think he doesn't know who could have sent that twin, but he doesn't think that Watermeat would have done the direct one.
Yeah, we need another flirt, and then if we could find a fingerprintable statue, that would be the perfect finish.
And we are getting word from Ranmilia, who is watching Dowsey's stream, that Dowsey thinks that Disney did the delegate cheese and was the one who sent the twin. We could see a miss shot here from Dowsey, but again, the situation is, if you're framing someone like that, making it look like they delegated to you, they have to do things, and Disney is not doing things.
Yeah, we've finished up our fingerprints here. We only need one more flirt, and then a second statue visit might be death at this point in the game.
Yeah, I mean, the only good thing you can say is it is soft tells that we need, so it's not like we're going to do anything that guarantees we're the spy, and I think going for the statues earlier and finishing as soon as possible is a good move, because if Dowsey does think it's Disney or someone else, that's the reason why he might not shoot you. Let's say you go to the statues in the last 20 seconds and Disney hasn't done anything the whole time, it's an easy shot. But if you're going and Dowsey is thinking, no, I'm going to wait and see if Disney does something, you can get away with it. And that's why Watermeat wasn't shot there, even though Watermeat could have been done if we hit green flirts.
Smallman almost picks up the statue that we had.
Ooh.
Dowsey may have been waiting for a swap in that case.
Look at this, we're going all the way to the other side. We can't go finish the flirt. Disney's going back to the bar, but I don't think there's a print or anything there, and that means that now with 20 seconds left, it is... Ooh, a bug right on screen. That was a nice attempt, but it just gave Dowsey the confirmation he needed. It would have been safer to finish with the flirt. I don't know if Watermeat even needed to do that bug.
Twin had just bailed from the crowded bookshelf, so that gave him a reason to feel threatened to finish missions.
Yeah, I think Watermeat played that well. Watermeat seemingly gave Dowsey a puzzle that was not immediately solvable, which is, it's about as good as you can get against Dowsey, it seems. I think, if we had hit green flirts earlier, I mean, that would have needed two green tests. Watermeat could have actually won that one with some really, really good purloin play. And we're starting Dowsey's next turn as spy in three, two, one, playing it.
Yeah, if Watermeat had hit two green tests that last game, the inspects would have been the ending. Uh, Dowsey, as Kane this time, will open up with a 51% flirt, will respectfully stay in conversation this time.
Yeah, I mean, you don't ever expect anyone to have hit two green flirts, so it makes sense to think they might not be done, but if you weren't really tracking them early on that much, they could have had time to do three flirts. You really have no idea. I mean, a lot of snipers just credit the flirt. Maybe Dowsey is good enough that he knew the flirt wasn't done.
A few lowlights available from this one. Two semi-crowded conversations, and one without a suspected double agent.
Yeah, Watermeat's not getting as many lowlights as Dowsey got from the Banana Bread last game. Boots at the shelf there, it looks like we're wondering if she split or if she's a lowlight. Boots could be a suspect here. I bet Watermeat's going to continue to look and see what she does with that book.
Dowsey gets sunshine again on the second flirt attempt.
And look at this, we're keeping Boots in our screen, making sure she doesn't microfilm. I think Watermeat does suspect her, but she's not microfilming, so if a shot ever comes off on Boots later, we will know why. It's because she looks like she split. Now we're finally getting the other Seduce. We're up to 85%. Boots still wandering around with this book, really looking like she wants to microfilm.
And he's already out of that conversation, making good progress.
Well, what progress? What are we getting in this conversation?
It looked like he was heading to statues. Yeah, we're just idling here. We have 3 minutes left, though, so...
No, and now we're leaving the conversation. It looks like we're heading towards the ambassador as well as the seduction target in this bottom conversation. We can flirt from all the way across the conversation. It'll be fine. We could get the briefcase when the ambassador leaves. That's a bug attempt! Right on screen with no cover.
Yeah, another attempt to bail on the flirt.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah,
little bit surprised to see Dowsey sort of give away a game like that. That would have been a really good bug if we kept walking along with Tex. I think that Dowsey thought Tex was going to keep heading on over to the right where we were walking, but it didn't happen. Next game, game canceled. Again, looks like Dowsey is going to be sort of quitting between games to fix that bug. He hasn't restarted the game this time, though. Yeah, I think if Tex had kept walking in the direction that we thought he was going to walk, that could have been a really fantastic bug, and it wasn't. And, I don't blame Dowsey for going for that. You have to take risky strategies on Modern, because it's really hard to win as a spy, so sometimes you gamble it. Often we refer to a 50-50 shot, being, if you put yourself in a position with like a swap or a purloin where the sniper narrows it down to 50-50. I think that was sort of another kind of 50-50 situation where it's like, well, there's a 50% chance that Tex is going to keep walking alongside me, in which case my arm won't be visible, and a 50% chance that I will wave to the sniper. And it didn't go in Dowsey's favor this time, but 2-2 split on Modern is probably something that Dowsey was expecting picking it. So I'm not sure how bad he really feels about that. But Watermeat's definitely got to be feeling good as the underdog here, maintaining a tie against Dowsey so far. And oops, I'm in sniper mode. I'm so sorry. Let me do that again. Starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
yeah, this time Watermeat on the spy side, starting out high rise as Disney. This is his chance, if he has anything up his sleeve, to take a lead in this set.
Yeah, I mean, the 3-5 maps are where things can get a little bit swingy. We have the standard setup here with all Softel's and Bug, and Bug can be sort of close to being a Softel. If these conversation circles fill up and there's not a good view of people's arms as they walk by the ambassador, you have to just credit people with Bug sometimes like you would if it was
Banana
behind the
bread.
shark.
Gives up 4 lowlights. Dowsey will take the optional one onto Pearls, who was taking a drink, and it's down to 3.
Wow, that is way too many lowlights to give up with a banana bread on high rise. Watermeat can't be feeling good about that. There was a lot of movement around the conversation circle, maybe people just entering, leaving, getting the briefcase. So maybe when we started the action test, it looked like a better banana bread than it was, but it just wasn't a good banana bread, unfortunately. And Watermeat's in a really tough position here.
Yeah, at this point, Watermeat still needs at least 2 flirts and one of the difficult missions. And at this point, it's going to be hard to think that Dowsey doesn't track his inspects or fingerprints.
Yeah, I think the only way Watermeat can win when it's this narrowed down is to just get some sort of bug that Dowsey doesn't suspect. I mean, this is one of the better situations for it, but it's just a lean while standing, and we're not immediately shot for it. And
Queen was entering.
yeah, that's the second time that Watermeat has gotten away with a standing bug against Dowsey. Maybe Dowsey's onto it and just hasn't shot yet because doesn't think the flirt is done, but could also be just a situation where, like, at this level, at the top of Silver, you expect the spies to be doing, like, clever walking bugs that are obscured. You really don't expect the spy to go for a standing bug, and so you maybe weren't guarding it as closely.
Yeah, Dowsey was holding kind of a side angle onto the main room there, and it gave Watermeat a good opportunity to take that bug, which he capitalized on.
Yeah, and I think Watermeat is probably just thinking right now, oh my god, am I going to win this one? Here's another talk. This could be the flirt, except the timer hadn't expired. If that was a flirt, Watermeat would have won this right now, and the fact that he hasn't been shot means I don't think Dowsey is onto him.
Yeah, if this had been 2 flirts, that could have been.
We're not close enough here, and it looks like a shot is going to be coming off. Is it on Watermeat, though? 94%. Sorry for the spoiler bar, but oh my god, Smallman got shot! And that was a missed shot from Dowsey. Let's start the next game up since we were a little bit behind.
Yep.
3, 2, 1, playing it. But I can't believe it. Dowsey missed shot on a high-rise game that was narrowed down to 3 people, where Watermeat did a standing bug in conversation.
Yeah, well played from Watermeat there. Really clean spy game. Yeah, Dowsey isn't invincible. He has 11% civ shots, which is still well below his division average.
Watermeat has got to be feeling fantastic now to be able to get a spy win off like that. And, I know we were a little bit behind, but it didn't look to me like Dowsey was watching the replay there. And I think if Dowsey was replay watching, he would see that Watermeat has done 2 standing bugs against him now. That was a possible reverse drive-by there, but we didn't take it. And so Dowsey really needs to be on the lookout for those in the games coming forward.
Yeah, 30% flirt means we'll have to hit a green or flirt 3 more times.
I mean, it's high-rise. You have time. At least you're not flirt paired. The double agent's entering with us, and if Irish comes into conversation, this could be a perfect BB. Salmon is moving. Salmon looks like he wants to be in the right conversation for a BB. Wait for Irish to come in and take it. Oh. I guess not.
Yeah, a lot of shuffling.
Yeah, that was really close to panning out, but it didn't.
Yeah, looks like we really want this flirt here. Up to 62.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, it's very respectful. You don't ever look like you're flirting with anyone because we've never entered right next to our seduction target or right next to anyone else for that matter. But I wonder if Dowsey is feeling the missed opportunity of that earlier contact.
Yeah, Ambassador's leaving a center statue print. Rocker will take a bit of a bug path, but if Watermeat's on top of it, you could see that there was no bug.
And so we're rejecting the drink. Dowsey probably feels like he's done enough to lower his suspicion level, and he only has a minute and a half left to make progress now. I wonder if Dowsey's feeling behind, we might just see a center statue visit. It's sort of a risky and straightforward play that I don't think Dowsey would usually like to do, but I'm not sure what other options he has, but maybe he'll pull something out.
Green fingerprint is now available at the bookshelf. We're gonna need this green flirt though, and we don't hit it. 96%.
Dowsey is in a rough position here. If Watermeat gets this sniper win, Watermeat will have officially broken serve and will be in the lead. I mean, he's already in the lead, but he would be really in the lead.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna wait for Irish to step in conversation. It's a good time to BB, even though it's not real.
Yeah, I mean, we're just banking on a Civ shot right now, and I'm hoping Watermeat doesn't give it to him. Dowsey needs to work for this win.
Yeah, just one low light available, and we're gonna have to start making progress, because this flirt time is about to expire, and then we still need a fingerprint before we can take that center statue.
I mean, you definitely cannot get fingerprints right now. You need to finish this flirt, and if you want to finish, it literally has to be a bug into center statues right now. And Dowsey is not taking it. I think if a shot doesn't come off in the next 5 seconds, Dowsey will go to the window and do a time ad. There's a bug attempt. That was not going to take. Desperation, and Watermeat is holding the shot. Dowsey loses 2 in a row. Watermeat has broken serve, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the best position anyone has been in against Dowsey all season.
Yeah, Dowsey got that overkill green flirt at the end there, but then didn't have a backup plan.
Dowsey has only had 2 other matches where someone got to 4 points against him, and those were Arturiax and Minty Rug. And we're starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Starting out with General, going to center statues immediately. Watermeat not afraid to play with a highlight.
And Warning Track correctly pointing out that Dowsey has a 16-match winning streak coming into this game. And that's because Dowsey was in Challenger last season and completely dominated, got first place, and of course has not lost a game this season. And Dowsey has got to be feeling a little bit stressed right now with Watermeat having the lead here.
Yeah, we're gonna do some active idling here to start. We only have 2 inspects, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, that's not necessarily the worst situation. If you go back to statues when you've already done center inspects, it can kind of look like a useless second visit, because I believe in order to get all 3 inspects from center statues, you only need to hit 1 green test. So the chance of not hitting one is usually pretty low. But either way, being a highlight for early statues there means it's really easy to flirt pair you. And Watermeat was trying to avoid that. We do have Irish across from us, and even then we waited quite a bit of time to talk. And look at this, we're sandwiched between the double agent and the ambassador. It really doesn't look like we're flirting with anyone.
Yeah, both of them will leave as soon as you mention it. We're up to 30% on the flirt.
Conversation's really full. If you want to go for a frame, now's the time. It's a perfect frame opportunity on Wheels and Seek right now with the double agent out. But
you know that you're in a fake conversation since the double agent was the last one to leave there. We got another standing bug.
Oh, that was a good attempt at a bug from Watermeat, but unfortunately it was being watched for. Dowsey was on top of it.
Were the circles intersecting? No, that was him just leaving freely.
All right. This is the big one. As long as Watermeat can keep can get the sniper win here, they will keep the lead. Starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
This time Dowsey, where is he going to start off? He's going to go to the green bookshelf. What's he going to do with this book?
And I believe that... Ooh, there's a bug. The path is very, very buggy, but we're not immediately shop for it, which suggests that Watermeat might not have thought that we bugged. Not even a highlight.
Yeah, some more active idling to lower any suspicion generated from that path. And this book is really no obstacle to us at this point, because all we have to do is flirt and contact, and that could be an easy win.
Yeah, and we're just gonna have to see if Watermeat is on it. Watermeat might just be saving his highlights for statue visitors, and that might be why we haven't seen a light on the twin. And if Watermeat is suspicious, Dowsey has done a pretty good job of lowering the suspicion level by standing in that conversation far away from everyone for a really long time without talking.
Yeah, far away from this seduction target too. We're up to 17% on the white.
Now we're returning the book, and we're going to see if Dowsey feels good about the lowered level of suspicion at this point. He might enter right next to the seduction target now and start being a little bit more aggressive. I believe last game was Dowsey's first timeout of the season. It was really, really rare to see. And here we are entering pretty close to Irish. Really, really good placement. You know, we don't look like we're jamming ourselves next to her, but we are still in the perfect range to have the circles touching.
Yeah, we're up to 68% on the green flirt. That's what you want in this scenario.
I think it's just really hard for any sniper to take a shot here for flirts and contact if they're not really sure they saw the bug. I think there's basically only two options here, which is that the Kanana talked bread, which is that the contact will come off and will immediately get shot, or we win. There's the contact.
Yeah, really good time. I think it only lets off 2.
And there's no immediate shot, which suggests to me that Dowsey got away with that bug. I mean, that was the typical bug position for high rise. The ambassador at that painting pad or that bookshelf, you know, it's the most standard bug path, and Dowsey took it, and it's working out for him.
Yeah, unless we're flirt paired here, we're gonna have to go next to Irish, who's a bit crowded as the only highlight right now. The wheels will pick up another.
Watermeat's only hope, though he doesn't know it, is that Irish goes for a briefcase chase. There's no room right next to Irish right now, though, so Dowsey does need to wait. We could be seeing another timeout here. Seek and Duke need to leave Irish alone, or we won't be able to finish without a green test.
We're gonna stand next to Seek. Let's see what action we get here. We get a red test and then immediately bail.
Oh, we were sending her over, hoping that she would go to the bookshelf, but she didn't. Now we're getting the flirt. If there was any suspicion on Dowsey, now's the time for it. We're adding time. I think Dowsey was really worried about being shot there. I think, yeah, okay. The time ad was an accident. That makes sense. We wanted a flirt.
Like Irish bailed, like right before he triggered it.
I thought there could be a strategy to it. Hear me out. A lot of people don't shoot for time ad. They wait for a mission. So if you time ad when all you have left is like a flirt that you don't even need to talk for, the sniper might see the time ad, say, all right, I think Twin time added. I'm just going to wait and see what he does next. If he does anything, I shoot him, and then we win while we're actually picking up the flirt. Or it was a misclick.
Yeah. There's another strategy that you could go for there, but the character that was required was not in attendance.
I don't know what you're referring to. Sounds like some sort of Smallman thing.
Nope, it would have to be general.
Oh, are you referring to a general watch check block at Windows?
Perhaps.
Is that your go-to strategy now?
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going into gallery. Watermeat has held the lead thanks to what might have been a misclick or just, unfortunate timing. Starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And Watermeat is Smallman here, immediately going to the blue bookcase.
May I just point out, we have cast 3 matches today, and in all of them, Gallery has been picked and Smallman has been chosen as the spy.
Yeah, Water or Dowsey handing out his typical low lights to the cast as well as his highlight to Smallman. Uh, Besides Smallman, Toby is also highlight, but that is nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah, I don't know if Watermeat's gonna get away with this. I mean, I am speaking just in terms of like, hey, here's the thing I noticed about, a pattern today. But the reason I'm noticing it is because it's so meta. I mean, even in the last SCL match that I played on Gallery, my opponent also just chose Smallman as the spy. They did the purloin at the back, they did the microfilm, and it's like, guys, we know about this. It is a very, very common strategy, and I think you need to be at least a little subtle about it if it's going to work, and let's see if Watermeat is able to do that.
We got a green fingerprint on the briefcase. In the meantime, looks like two other highlights have joined Smallman.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we're a big suspect at this point. We have the highlight, and we do have a book. I mean, the thing is, look, there are some strategies in Spy Party that are really common for spies to do, but the spies do them anyway because they work. Um, I'll just keep talking. Never mind. No, I won't. The match is already done. The example I was going to give is, the bug as a mission. Spies always love to bug. Snipers know that spies love to bug, but they do it anyway because they're hard to catch. It's sort of the same with Smallman. It's hard to catch him going to that green shelf, but unfortunately we didn't get the right spot, and so it was just visible. Dowsey gets the point, the sniper win, and we start the next game in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, Watermeat picked a good time to do it. He had good coverage from Taft.
He had cover, but it looked to me like the rightmost spot of the green bookcase was taken by someone else at the time, so it was possible to see Smallman going there.
Oh, Double Agent will have his spot taken by the suspected Double Agent. Dowsey might be able to deduce that. But we're already up to 51% flirt.
Dowsey really, really needs a spy win here, so I'm expecting... well, I was going to say I'm expecting him to bring out some really, really good strategies here, but I mean, it's really interesting to see how Dowsey does under pressure. We don't usually see it. If a spy is behind, there's two options. Sometimes they're just nervous, they play tentatively, they play slow, they don't get mission progress, and other times they make bold moves. Bold move being like a bug here. No, Dowsey's not doing that. But that does mean that we wasted time at that bookcase not really doing anything.
We did something. We got the 2 flirt.
Oh, that's true. That is true. We did get the seduce. Now we're going to go out, probably looking to get the contact. There's a lot of room in that conversation, but the double agent leaves. Incoming camera shake from Dowsey. No, he's not really the type. I think Dowsey's going to leave as soon as... Oh, he does the banana bread anyway!
It's a fake, though. The suspected Double Agent is at statues.
But what about Duke? Duke looked like he was in that upper conversation. He looked like he was just leaving it, unfortunately. So I think Watermeat, even if Watermeat thinks Duke was in that conversation, it really looks like a sunshine.
He may have gotten redirected because he was definitely pathing there from outside.
I mean, to the sniper, it looks like someone in that upper conversation was the one trying to do the banana bread, but you know that no one has credit for it. You know another one is going to come, and Dowsey is in a really, really unfortunate situation now. There's nothing for us in this conversation other than a purloin, and it's not a good spot for that either. The only thing in Dowsey's favor is that it didn't really make sense for him to be doing a fake outside there, so probably not suspected, but...
We're going to request a drink after Disney rejects it. We hit the green, though.
We do hit the green. We did it really quickly. Toby might not have been noticed near us. Who's taking the lit? Ooh, another reject. So the chain you think is Disney followed by Dowsey. Was that a bug attempt? It was. It failed.
Was.
He's going to try it again. Watch. He's just going to literally go back and do it again.
Wait.
No?
Did Twin just take a drink and... No, he rejected. Okay, I was about to
So
say,
many
did the list
rejects.
not go
Now
away?
we're going to take a drink. We're going to do this play. We are resetting the cooldown. Now who takes it? If a lowlight or an SDA were to take it, it would be that we're the only suspect. Rocker takes it. She's a lowlight. I believe that's a hard lowlight from BB. We're the only person who could have done it, and Watermeat knows it and takes the shot.
Wow. Really doubted that for a second, but with the fake banana bread lowlights, that really comes back to bite Dowsey there.
I think when you go for that, yeah, what Warning Track is saying, taking there doesn't necessarily make sense. I mean, that is such a brilliant play to take a drink while you're waiting for the purloin to go off. Because if it works, it's brilliant. Snipers might not be expecting it. But if the sniper does know about it, then if the sniper knows about it, then they know about it. They're watching it. They know that you took. They were watching the chain, and so they know that you taking there means that, you know, you're the only person it could be if there's a green fade. And considering the lowlights were all hard lowlights for being out of conversation in Banana Bread, we were the only person who could have taken it. If someone who wasn't a lowlight took it, we might have gotten away with it, but Watermeat was just so on top of it, and with that, Watermeat has officially broken Dowsey's win streak. The very least that Watermeat can get is a tie right now. Starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah. Watermeat is now playing for the win on Taeyen.
And remember, this is Watermeat's choice. And at the time, it looked like Watermeat was choosing it because he was the underdog and he wanted something swingy where he could maybe catch up if he was behind. But now Dowsey's the one who's going to have a chance to catch up. And it could happen.
Yeah, Dowsey is fully capable of anything. And we'll have to see how this one plays out, because it looks like Watermeat's just idling here to start.
Yeah, and I'm really wondering about Dowsey's psyche right now. I don't think a draw would hurt him too much if he beats Screw Loose. I think he still gets the division. But losing that win streak that I know he was really proud of, and should still be proud of for sure, is definitely a blow. And he's under a lot of pressure here to get a sniper win on Taeyen. And this is the worst map to be dealing with that pressure on.
Watermeat looking around the party, trying to decide what the best move is here, but doesn't really want to go to Boots at the bookshelf. There's also a fingerprintable statue that's available.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
just not doing anything.
Taeyen is definitely considered a venue where it's easier than most to get spy wins, but that doesn't mean you don't still have to work for it. Right now there's an opportunity to enter right next to Boots, and we should take it. No, we've entered into the middle of the conversation! But it's not that visible from sniper side.
It isn't, but there's a green purloin pending, and Twin will take it. Looks like he was the... Ooh, Dowsey low-lit him for the green fade.
Alright, the question is, does Dowsey know who did that purloin? Seek is being followed. He was already a highlight. It's like we were trying to make him a highlight when he already was one. Alice is not a highlight, and taking an innocent drink right now, if there was any suspicion of her, probably just reinforces the idea that it's not her.
We've got a drink on our left side to the ambassador. That's pretty good to tell Dowsey, hey, we're not bugging right here. We got a white time ad in the back here.
Ooh, time ad is really interesting. Honestly, when a purloin has gone off, that is a sign that the spy is making good mission progress, and so you really don't expect them to time ad, and especially when Dowsey is behind and has no idea who did the purloin, I don't think he's watching for a time ad.
There are 3 highlights in this front conversation with the double agent. It would be a great time to BB.
Banana bread! A green banana bread with the briefcase!
Oh, are we gonna get Lola for that? I don't think Dowsey will be the one to reward for that.
Unfortunately, we brought the briefcase away from the ambassador, so, oh god, that was risky. No!
Really late sip at the statues there.
Oh no, Watermeat had that one. I mean, that was such impressive play, but that sip was so slow.
Wow. Banana Bread was super good and super opportune there.
That was fantastic spy play from Watermeat, and it's just so unfortunate that with all the pressure, they were just late on one crucial thing, and that's all it takes.
Dowsey spying for the tie here.
Starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Dowsey cannot make any mistakes because Watermeat has shown that he is more than capable of punishing.
Watermeat has been so on top of things as Sniper all set. I mean, this is not the kind of scoreline or the kind of play you expected from, an undefeated dominator versus someone in the middle of the pack. These players have been on equal footing the entire time.
Yeah, Dowsey opening up with what looks to be a timer flirt, up to 51% so far.
The conversations look really full. It could be a good time for a banana bread. It's just really Seek and Boots who are out, but now people are scattering. I mean, it would be a fake for us, but it's still a decent time.
Yeah, Dowsey probably just does not want to give up anything more than he has to.
I agree. No, that makes a lot of sense. No point in taking a fake on Taeyen. Queen was trying to enter conversation, but Pearls took her spot, and so Queen stopped and needed to redecide where she was going to go. And that's the kind of thing that Dowsey could lowlight for. Oh, Dowsey is not the sniper. My god, even I'm frazzled by how close this set is.
Double Agent is in our conversation, but not in our conversation because he's returning the briefcase. And now he's going to...
He gets redirected immediately back to us. That was nice.
If things settle down, we might go for the BB here. It's looking like a good time, except for Seek, who's a
Yeah, we want
highlight.
Seek in. I think Dowsey might be hoping for a Civ shot here. Taeyen is just a really easy map to induce a shot on, especially with a lot of highlights for statues. Dowsey does not need to finish missions here.
Yeah, we have no missions completed, but we're so close to finishing Flirt.
It's either that or Dowsey was just trying to let the party build up suspects so that he can get away with a mission complete himself. There's the first fingerprint. Because the thing is, you can hope for a Civ shot, but do you really want to put your victory in the hands of... There's a missed pad!
We're still not on the pad.
Oh my god, it's not on screen though. We're zoomed in on the
Cool.
conversations. Dowsey got away with a missed pad with a little twitch. Also a failed bug attempt. And as I was saying, Dowsey doesn't want to put his hands in the civilians here. He is going to complete.
Haven't been highlight. Okay, we've been seeing it statues, but we're not highlight for it yet.
Could be a misclick. It's hard behind the shoji. Yeah, now there's the highlight. I think Dowsey was just letting the party build up some other highlights. That's a very quick talk upon entering conversation, but the seduce is done. We have 30 seconds now to get one more fingerprint and then hopefully get the banana bread. Instead, we're requesting a drink. We're going to be going for a purloin. It's going to be in a really hard spot to see the list behind the shoji.
It's a red test. And not that it matters at this case. It's got a fingerprint.
Doesn't matter. We're in mission win countdown from this fingerprint. Dowsey is going to take the win. Watermeat was not suspicious enough. Didn't rotate to see it. And Dowsey brings it back to a tie. Remains undefeated.
Woo.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna contact the players, let them know they can join us for an interview. What an ending. Taeyen, I don't think either of them expected the set to be going like this when they reached Taeyen.
I'm going to start scrubbing through the replays if we want to do some interview questions.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't know if Dowsey will want to because he has his own stream, but we might. What a match. Watermeat taking that early lead, probably feeling really good about it, and just unfortunately lost it on Taeyen. I think that set came down to a late sip. I think if Watermeat didn't sip the drink late going to those statues in his Teian game as Spy, we would be seeing a 7-5 score for Watermeat right now. I'm going to head on over to headquarters. Yeesh is in headquarters. Hi, Yeesh.
Hey,
All
what's
right,
up?
guys.
And I'm probably
Hey,
going.
Oh, you're
all right.
going?
No
Okay.
worries.
Yeah,
Or
Douse, I said
whatever you guys want to do.
you
I didn't realize.
One sec, guys.
you can join us for the interview. I didn't know you were in here. I just told Dowsey he could join us for an interview, and Dowsey says an interview with Yeesh, and I'm like, no, with me. But if you're here, feel free to help. Are you watching that?
Yes, I was streaming as well, so got to do my own perspective too. So we'll see if I have any extra questions that you guys don't have.
Sure. So Watermeat's microphone isn't really great, so we just have Dowsey here. Let's take a look through some of those key moments. I still can't believe that that scoreline. Yep. Sorry, I always have trouble navigating my replay menu after a match. I'm so frazzled. Uh,
All right, guys. Sorry, I just wanted to end my stream and throw my party over to Spy Party fans before we did this.
oh, awesome. Yeah, I wasn't sure, if we'd be doing it on two of them. Watermeat's not going to join us. Their microphone isn't great. But so first of all, congratulations. Congratulations on tying it back up there at the end with those Teian games. Noticing that late sip and then the spy win there. That felt like a really, really good job letting the party accumulate suspects so that by the end, when you were doing the purloin, you just weren't the major person that Watermeat was watching. But we'll jump back in time and we'll start we'll start with Moderne.
Sure.
But every game in this set, I feel, had some huge, huge moments.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this set could have gone really differently. I think if the party was a little bit more kind at certain moments.
Yeah, let's start with this first Moderne game when Watermeat was Irish. So you took a very, very confident shot on Irish. By the time she went for the microfilm at green, you were watching super closely. But we weren't sure what your thought process was on Irish throughout the match because she did get away with the first microfilm and a standing bug, and the highlight came a little bit late. Can you let us know what your process was here?
Yeah, so I didn't catch the microfilm, nor did I catch the bug, but you'll see that Irish does a micro stutter in conversation to force the ambassador to leave. I assume Watermeat wanted to pick up the briefcase. And so basically, I saw that and watched the microfilm after that. So,
Right, but the
really,
stutter
really
happens
clear.
after the highlight, right? It
Yeah,
happens like
yeah, it
5 seconds
Yeah,
after.
yeah. So the highlight was like, well, I've not been guarding this bug very well. I don't really like. There was something about Irish at the start of the game that I just didn't like, but I doubt it was anything wrong. It's just more intuition there. Um, and so I highlight for just the fact that I wasn't happy with the way that Watermeat was playing it. Going from the conversation. From the blue bookshelf into that conversation, back to the blue bookshelf, back into the conversation. I'm like, this just feels like really spy-like to me. And then after that, he micro stutters. So it's possible that if I hadn't highlighted for just like almost the behavioral aspect of coming back into the same conversation, that I would have been caught the stutter.
Yeah, would you say that you don't really necessarily guard standing bugs as much because you don't expect a spy to do them at this level? You expect them to do like, the clever obfuscated walking bugs?
It's possible. I think this series shows that there was a bit of a hole there. I mean, I catch standing bugs when I play casually a lot, so um, I wouldn't say that it's something I don't look for, but Watermeat really chose some opportunistic times where my laser was lazy to punish me on those.
And so the second Moderne game, this one came really, really close. It looks well, this is the game where Watermeat initially low-lit you because you did the delegate cheese at the start. Let's just take a quick look at that. There it is happening. And then you walked over to the window pad, and the laser moved onto you at this window pad after the purloin went off. At that time, did you think that you were being high-lit or low-lit?
I thought I was being low lit because of the continued lights and the way he took it. Like I was the closest to the laser at the time. I played as if I was low lit. And later on, I felt him bring me, and I thought he brought my seduction target back up at the statue. But that confirmed to me that I was right to think I was low lit. And this game basically just happens because Minty Rug really exploited delegate cheeses against Watermeat, and he really struggled against it on Modern. So I figured it would be a successful strategy.
Yeah, I wish we had Watermeat here so that we could ask exactly what
He's
it was.
in chat, so you could probably ask him a question and he'll respond in his own time.
Oh yeah, Watermeat is there. Sorry, wasn't looking. It's hard to read notes, ask questions, and read the chat at the same time. Watermeat, what made you bring Boots back up at that moment? Feel free to answer, and we'll move on because I know you're not answering in voice in real time. But Dowsey, yeah, you almost got away with that one, but then Watermeat was just on top of it, took a really calm shot. Watermeat says, I remembered that Boots was there. She was low lit, but was still suspicious because I knew she did go to the bar. That's really good memory. I mean, usually if you low light someone, you sort of erase them from your memory, and it looks like you did a really good job of remembering that she was still at the bar.
There's also a really nice bug catch at the end too. That bug was hard to see, so that was nicely done.
I mean, I don't think he caught it. I think he insinuated it, based on the fact that I had two statue inspects, and like it's basically sunk into his memory. Oh yeah, she was at the bar. I think that this game would have gone differently if Irish hadn't bailed on me as soon as I arrived at conversation, but it would be interesting to see if Watermeat would have felt comfortable shooting me for a contact at that point.
Yeah, that was interesting actually. That happened a few times where you like waited to talk and then your ST bailed on you. On Modern especially, I thought that was I can understand like on higher as if you want to wait to talk. On Modern I thought it was interesting that versus Watermeat you'd be worried about getting punished for flirting. But I mean Watermeat is a pretty behavioral sniper, so I can kind
of and maybe not so much. Like some of my flirts were aggressive, some of them were a little bit more respectful, but when it comes to contacts, I think that there's a lot more weight put on when you do them as to when you join the conversation. And the fact that I felt like I got low lit and then brought up to a highlight made me believe that Watermeat would hold me at a high suspect, so I didn't want to disrespect anything when it came to contacts.
And so the next game, this was the game that was defined by Watermeat doing a really bold purloin. So let's see. Here's Watermeat in conversation before the purloin. The person who would be delegating to us, if anyone did, is Alice. Had Alice even been to the bar at all recently? The answer is no. So this was just a direct purloin with no one sending us. But I believe it was shortly after a banana bread. Probably the hope was that Dowsey was a little bit confused or busy getting lowlights, and so wouldn't remember exactly who was in conversation next to Watermeat. Watermeat, what was your Dowsey, what was your thought process throughout this game? Who did you think did the purloin, and how big of a suspect was Watermeat?
Watermeat was like accumulating missions, but never a top suspect. So he was always on my mind as a possible spy. But I think I tunneled really hard on Mr. A, Walt Disney, because earlier on in the game, his first bar visit, it looked like a delegate cheese. And I remembered that he was pretty much the only person who'd been to bar at any point. But I also knew that he was in the same conversation as the twin, so I kind of kept him active, basically. I believe it's really early on.
Oh
when
yeah,
he's
it was even
playing it.
earlier than that. He did
Yeah.
3-bar visits. Yeah, here's the one
Yeah,
that
he did
looks like
lots
a
of
delegate
like
cheese.
as far as like behavior is concerned, it didn't make sense. Walt was the spy, but that reject that he does there felt to me like it was a delegate cheese. I guess I glanced at it and I tunneled on him pretty hard. And honestly, if Watermeat had flirted this game, I lost. I didn't think he was finished. I didn't think he had the fingerprint, and the fact that he immediately purloined for the fingerprint was the real defining moment of that game.
Yeah, wow, I actually sort of forgot that Watermeat lost this one as we were talking about it, but yeah, he just needed one more flirt, and unfortunately didn't feel like he was going to be able to get it because the seduction target was on the move. He would have had to turn around and chase, and so he took a bug, didn't even take. Really unfortunate, unfortunate ending for Watermeat there.
Yeah, honestly, the mistake was just going to the statue instead of the flirt. In my opinion, now in the meta, especially, ending with statues is less sus than ending with flirt. Like people shoot for flirt all the time. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. That you almost want to get flirt done. Like you want to end with something that's not flirt because flirting at like 30 seconds left is just like certain death so much of the time now.
And so this first high-rise game, uh, I'm sorry to bring it up. This was another game, Dowsey, where you missed a standing bug from Watermeat. But I'd like to analyze, why that happened. What were your thoughts at the time, and what were you looking at this point?
Um, so Smallman completed flirt with Queen. Um, and so I was watching him pretty heavily. Twin was actively idling, and so he like because the contact was terrible. It reduced it to three
Yeah.
suspects, small man, um, Walt, and I guess I was staring down Twin, sorry, small man, just to see what he did at this point whilst watching Queen. I was eyeing Queen entering the conversation because whilst Queen was the seduction target for Walt, there was many interactions between Queen and Smallman, enough that would be a three flirt. Um, and basically, I noted that if someone felt under pressure, they would stand still, like Walt did. So it's very possible Walt was the spy. Smallman is actively doing missions and flirting with, so it's likely that Smallman's and Twin is acting and doing nothing, but doing a lot of actions, but none of them resulting in missions. So he's most likely not. And so in my head, I was like, it's very possible it's Walt, just due to the fact that he stood still in conversational game. But I felt forced to take a shot on Smallman, and I didn't like the shot, but it was accurate flirt wise. And so normally a high rise game will have an AI that completes missions, but they don't complete flirt. And so I've made it a real mission to track flirt just to make sure I don't get burnt by that.
Yeah, and it
And
did look like he
so
could have been
there's
flirting
flirt.
with Queen. So
Yeah,
it
if it
is
was
an
a
understandable
flirt,
shot.
yeah.
So it's really rough. And I mean, this game I probably would have lost anyway because Watermeat got the poke past me, and all he had to do was flirt one more time with Queen, and he would have been able to at like the 5 second mark to force overtime. Failed, he would have got the reset. So
Yeah,
you know,
and on your
I'm not.
next high rise game, when you were the spy as Pearls, we saw what I believe is the first and only timeout of the season from you. Can you just let us know what happened this game? What was the plan?
Watermeat does opposition, and so I just hoped he would use my statistics, and I thought that um, there was enough activity that Watermeat, who's prone to civ shotting on high rise, would take a civ shot, but it wasn't a perfect like party for it. Frames always you need something a little bit better, and Irish, whilst she was very active with the briefcase, it was the same briefcase every time, So the print wasn't really a big threat, and Rocker only had one statue visit. So I didn't really expect him to shoot, but I figured someone like Watermeat, who has done opposition research, would at least know about my spy style and know that he should be forced to take a shot every game. And I was hoping he would rely. I was relying on that essentially.
I was just curious at like 255, actually more like 2. You have a chance to reverse bug here. Did you consider taking this, or were you already committed to like, hey, I'm just
Oh, sorry,
gonna
what time is this?
try and time out here? This is like 258,
Was that
and there's a reverse bug
that was
possibility.
Ambassador crossing from right to left, that right?
Yeah, and then you had
Yeah.
Toby blocking, so it was like I wasn't sure if take this or if you're still committed to not finishing. I'm just
Yeah, no,
curious.
I thought that would be spotted, but watching it on the sniper camera, I think I could have got away with that. I you can see me eyeing up on spy cam my angle the whole time, considering whether or not a reverse bug would be seen by the laser.
Yeah, it is kind
And
of open, so I totally get why you didn't go for it. It makes
yeah,
sense. It's just when you look at it, it's like, oh, Toby was blocking it perfectly, but it's just hard to really know that.
it was considered, but yeah, basically not because I was committed to timing out, but because I thought it would get seen very obviously because of how open it was. But yeah, Toby blocks it, and Watermeat's camera movement would have punished. Probably a mistake, could have won that game.
And so we come to the final high-rise game, which had the most tragic ending of the set. Before we look at the end, let's just take a look back so we can see it clearly. Sniper view of this bug. Yeah, it looks like Watermeat just didn't have the angle needed to catch the bug there. There's a little bit of the hand visible, and you'd think that's where the ambassador should be guarded the most. But Watermeat missed the bug. You got away with it cleanly. And then this ending happens. Can you let us know what happened and what was going through your mind?
Oh, just why did Irish stay at that window pad for like 2 seconds? Why does Flirt not reprioritize itself on the hot bar? That was a one game lost due to AI misluck again. But at that point, I was like, well, I'm going into gallery. I'm going into Taein. I can be successful in these venues. It's not over. But pretty tilting. That was a one game.
I can imagine, and we were saying that there's a lot of snipers who might not shoot for a time ad. They might just look and say, okay, I think Twin did a time ad. I'm going to wait and see what he does next, expecting that you'll go into conversation and talk or anything like that. So against some snipers, you might have even been able to get away with it.
Yeah, no, well, that's the thing. I was like, when the time ad happened, I was like, well, thank fuck it's green, because at least there will be maybe, sorry for swearing, that there may be I don't know, 2 or 3 seconds of mission win countdown that won't have the so it will at least give me another 4 seconds before he shoots, for a consideration of whether he wants to shoot for a time ad. And on high rise, there's almost never a possibility of someone else adding time. So I think Watermeat could feel pretty confident that he caught that.
Yeah, there's the one situation at like 30 seconds where you chose not to get close. Like you could have stepped like closer to the center of the conversation in order to confirm the flirt. I really like the play afterwards, by the way. Once you realize you're not in range to red flirting, I think that's. But why
Yeah.
didn't you get close at the start? Were you trying to and just messed it up a little bit, or what happened?
Where are we talking?
we're talking 25 seconds.
For the last flirt.
The last flirt. I just didn't. Like there was a couple of laser movements that felt like it could have been on me, like the contact, for example. I guess it's just Watermeat's natural sway. Oh, he does highlight me. Okay, so I felt. Oh no, I'm on the wrong game. And I just felt. I felt like that he would like see the aggressive flirt, and I knew that Irish would do one of two things in this position on a red flirt. She would either go to bookshelf, or she would go to. If she went to bookshelf, I would have actually screwed myself over because she would have slammed the book. So I was really hoping she would choose one of the window pads, so I could just get a close flirt. But really unfortunate. And like I expected I was going to get the flirt on the first like entry, which would have meant no overtime, or at least like a dead second of overtime. But her repositioning really like hurt us there.
Yeah, it was a really, really tragic ending. And so the next thing I wanted to ask about was the gallery game where you were spy. You did the trick where after a really long purloin reject chain, you called Toby back over and you took and you took a drink, therefore resetting the chain. And then unfortunately, Rocker, a low light from the BB, took it. So Watermeat, uh, if the list had been taken like normal, do you think that you would have shot Dowsey? And oh yeah, Watermeat is ahead of me, already answering. Watermeat says I would 100% not have noticed if he hadn't called Toby back. And we were talking about this because this is a really good play if you can get it by a sniper. It can be brilliant, but unfortunately a low light took it. What were you thinking, Dowsey, during this whole chain of events?
He highlighted me for bug, and the bug didn't connect. So not only do I have the bug again or a different mission, but also I'm his top suspect right now. So I needed to really confuse him, and my plan was to essentially be an impossible purloiner. It's a shame that a low light took it. Potentially, if the low light hadn't taken it, that could have worked.
Yeah.
But that is Spy Party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. At that point, you were committed to not finishing. Like,
I was
basically
finishing
after
that
the
game.
AMBA, yeah. After the AMBA doesn't come by your way, once you set up for
Yeah.
the reverse bug, then it's just at that point you need to either rush fingerprint and microfilm, or you need to purloin. So, I like the play.
Yeah.
And then on Taean, Watermeat playing a brilliant spy game, got away with a purloin, did a banana bread while in conversation with the briefcase, and seemingly was getting away with it until they did a slow sip at statues. Dowsey, was Watermeat a suspect at all until this sip?
No, not at all. That was a gift from heaven after many rough games.
Did you notice that Alice was holding the briefcase during the banana bread?
No, not at all. I mean, you can have a look at it from sniper cam. It's pretty
Banana bread.
difficult to see the briefcase. You have to have seen the dip down before the contact.
Yeah, or notice the dip down afterwards. Makes sense.
Yeah, but
This is why Tane's broken.
this is the perfect venue for doing shenanigans like this because you will usually get away with it. But it's also a venue that you don't need to do stuff like that as well. So potentially wasted. But that's something that Watermeat struggles with. Identified in these replays that if the one piece of etiquette to watch for was slow sips, and really lucky that he suffered on that way.
Yeah, and so last question before we wrap things up. The final Taean game as spy. Can you let us know what your strategy was going into this and why you chose the moves that you did?
I'm waiting for a bug with General blocking. It's invisible on that angle because General will have my hand. But the Ambassador never comes that way, so it's really unfortunate. I think that front conversation bugs, snipers don't weight them anywhere near as heavily as conversation. You know, a lot of snipers probably just credit bug as a mission that will 100% be completed, but I prefer to do it and make sure that the sniper doesn't think that I've done it, if I can in any way. Once the bug doesn't happen, I get the fingerprint as a safety. Miss pad at statue, but you know, again, thank God that didn't come through. And then the Ambassador finally takes the drink, and so I know I can purloin, and I want to purloin as quickly as possible. So I red purloin. Well, no, that's not true. I wanted to purloin as quickly as possible. I didn't mean to red purloin, but I was like very much rushing the purloin so I could get the fingerprint, so I could start the mission countdown. And that position in conversation, as long as there's someone who hasn't accepted a drink yet, Toby always goes down for whatever reason on Taeyan. So as long as you've got someone underneath you being towards the sniper laser, Toby seems to offer to them afterwards. And so having Walt next to me means that Meat won't be able to catch the tray. And as long as I dip out towards the back of the room, then if he does see the tray, he won't find me.
Yeah, I was talking about this on stream. It's like this request is so obvious, especially after an Amba take.
Yeah, yeah.
But besides that, like it's completely insane.
Yeah, and,
So,
and that was the thing that would have killed me is if Watermeat was on the fact that I had a print, I was his top suspect, and he's just seen the fingerprint on the drink, then the request is really bad. Like realistically, Toby would have done that anyway because everyone in the front conversation had a drink, but it doesn't matter. You should always feel suspicious of whoever Toby goes to after a fingerprint goes on the drink, basically.
The first
yeah,
print
that
was from a
was-
briefcase, Lazy Bear was asking.
Yeah, return the briefcase. Also, the briefcase return, a really good bug opportunity. I think this would have been seen. You can switch to Watermeat's laser and see as the Amber walks past me, but I regretted not bugging as the Amber walks past me when I'm holding the briefcase because I think that would have been another bug opportunity, and that's just poor opportunism from me. But definitely tilted after so much AI, bad luck on High Rise, on Modern with Irish. I felt like I had bad luck as well with Queen bumping me out of the bug on Gallery, but watching the replay back, it's clear that Watermeat just saw what he thought was a bug animation, or knows that that's a strong bug, and so highlight for the implication. But either way, Watermeat's sniper was on top, and I probably needed to be a little bit more aggressive so that I didn't leave myself in bad position towards the end.
All right. Well, that's the set. Thank you for asking us to cast it. I was originally planning on not doing it because I thought you have your own stream, but I'm really glad we cast it. It was a thrilling set, really, really great play from both of you, and some really fantastic sniper games in particular, and some spy games that went a little bit off the rails, which made it thrilling to watch. So thanks to both of you, for Dowsey for joining us in the interview, Watermeat for joining us in chat, answering questions. And thank you as
no
well.
worries. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you as well to Ligor of Janine for co-casting.
Yeah, great games. I was glad to be here.
If anyone wants more information, the reason I stream my games is just purely for reactions. So that game there was a downward spiral. So I think you probably get some good reactions.
Yeah, what is
really
that? Just
see what's in my head if you wanna watch the
twitch.tv/Dowsey TV?
Dowsey TV, that's it. Yeah.
Great.
I mean, you probably didn't break your microphone after you green time added instead
That's true.
of green flirted, right?
No, but I was very, very much upset.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go back and look at that reaction myself. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Have a good evening. We do have some more matches coming up in Spy Party tonight. They won't be cast, but feel free to check out the calendar. We have Alexair versus Human Kirby happening right now, and later tonight is Calvin Schoolage versus Sulseem. Have a good evening, everyone.